Henry was born around 1068, probably at Selby in Yorkshire, although his exact birth date is uncertain. He was the youngest surviving son of William the Conqueror and Matilda of Flanders. His brothers were Robert Curthos, Duke of Normandy, William Rufus, King of England. Henry grew up during the consolidation of the Norman conquest. His father was ruling England after the conquest of 1066. November 2, 1083, Henry's mother, Matilda of Flanders, died. She was buried at the Abbaye aux Dames in Caen. Henry was approximately 15 years old. September 9, 1087, Henry's father died. The inheritance was divided: Robert Normandy, William England, Henry money. Henry was therefore initially not a king. Henry received a large amount of money from his father's inheritance. He used his wealth to acquire lands and influence. But his brothers were suspicious of him. Henry wanted his own territory. William too invaded Normandy in 1091. Robert was forced into an agreement with William. Henry's position became difficult. William and Robert eventually turned against Henry and stripped him of much of his territory. Henry temporarily lost most of his possessions. 1093 to 1094, Henry began rebuilding his political position. He acquired support from Norman and English nobles. He was ambitious and highly intelligent. He learned from the rivalry between his brothers. August 2, 1100, this was the turning point in Henry's life. His brother William too went hunting in the New Forest. William was killed by an arrow. The circumstances were suspicious. Henry immediately moved to secure power. August 3, 1100, the day after William's death, Henry seized the royal treasury at Winchester. This was an extremely clever political move. He understood that whoever controlled the money could control the government. August 5, 1100, Henry was crowned King Henry I of England at Westminster Abbey. He was approximately 32 years old. His older brother Robert Curthos was still in Normandy, returning from the First Crusade. Henry therefore acted quickly before Robert could claim England. 1100, after becoming king, Henry issued a document known as the Charter of Liberties. He promised to correct abuses associated with his brother William too.
He promised fairer treatment of the church, limits on royal financial abuses, better administration, protection of noble rights, more lawful government. This helped him gain political support.
November 11, 1100, Henry married Matilda of Scotland. She was the daughter of Malcolm III of Scotland and Saint Margaret of Scotland. This was an extremely important political marriage. Matilda connected Henry to the Scottish royal family, the old Anglo-Saxon royal dynasty, the English royal tradition. Her mother, Margaret of Scotland, was descended from the Old English royal family. Therefore, Henry's marriage gave the Norman dynasty an important connection to the pre-conquest English royal house. 1100, to Henry and Matilda's daughter was born Matilda. She became known as Empress Matilda. Because she later married the Holy Roman Emperor Henry V, she would eventually become the central figure in the English succession crisis after Henry's death. Henry's extramarital relationships began producing children before and during his reign. Unlike many medieval rulers, Henry's illegitimate children were often openly acknowledged. He arranged prestigious marriages for many of his daughters. This became one of his major political strategies. 1103, Henry and Matilda had a son, William Adelin. William was Henry's only legitimate son to survive infancy. He became heir to the English throne. Henry now had a legitimate daughter, Matilda, a legitimate son, William. The succession appeared secure. Henry had many mistresses. Sybil Corbett, one of Henry's most important mistresses. She was probably from the English or Norman aristocracy. Henry had several children with her. Their relationship appears to have been long-lasting. Nesferk rise, she is sometimes associated with Henry I. She later became an important figure in Norman Welsh politics. And Sfrida, another woman associated with Henry, she was probably of aristocratic background. She had children attributed to Henry. Edith Fitzforbn, traditionally listed among Henry's mistresses, she is associated with at least one illegitimate child. Giva D. Tracy, another woman traditionally identified as one of Henry's mistresses, she is associated with an illegitimate daughter. 1106 Henry wanted to reunite England and Normandy. His older brother, Robert Curthose, was Duke of Normandy. Henry invaded Normandy. September 28, 1106, Henry defeated Robert at the Battle of Tinchebray. Robert was captured. Henry then took control of Normandy. This was one of Henry's greatest achievements. After Tinchebray, Henry imprisoned his brother Robert. Robert remained Henry's prisoner for the rest of his life. 1106 to 1135 Henry now controlled England plus Normandy. He was one of the most powerful rulers in Western Europe. His government became highly centralized. Henry became famous for his administrative ability. He strengthened royal taxation, royal courts, sheriffs, financial administration, written government, royal justice. The exchequer developed significantly during his reign. He was an extremely capable administrator. Henry continued dealing with conflicts over the relationship between the monarchy and the church. Henry wanted royal influence. The church wanted greater independence. This eventually contributed to the Concordat of London 1107. 1107 Henry and Anselm, Archbishop of Canterbury, reached a compromise. The king would not formally invest bishops with their spiritual authority. However, royal influence over ecclesiastical appointments remained substantial. This was an important step in resolving the investiture controversy in England. During the 1110s, Henry consolidated his rule. He also dealt with Normandy, France, Wales, Scotland, rebellious nobles. He increasingly relied on experienced administrators and judges. 1110 Henry's daughter Matilda was sent to Germany. She married Henry V, Holy Roman Emperor, in 1114. She became Empress Matilda. This was a major diplomatic achievement. The marriage strengthened Henry I's international position, but it also meant that his only surviving legitimate daughter was increasingly tied to continental politics. May 1, 1118, Henry's first wife Matilda of Scotland died. She had been queen for almost 18 years. Henry appears to have respected her deeply. 29 January 1121, Henry married Adelin of Louvain. She was the daughter of Godfrey I, Count of Louvain. Adelin was considerably younger than Henry. The marriage was partly political. Adelin came from the powerful ruling family of Louvain. The marriage strengthened Henry's connections with continental Europe. But Henry's main concern was also the succession. He wanted another legitimate son. Despite the marriage lasting until Henry's death in 1135, Adelin did not provide him with another legitimate heir. Henry's illegitimate children were numerous. They included both sons and daughters. Robert, 1st Earl of Gloucester, one of Henry's most important illegitimate sons, he became a powerful military and political leader. Reginald de Dunstanville, another prominent illegitimate son, he became an important nobleman. Sybil of Fala Is, an illegitimate daughter traditionally associated with Henry. Julianne, an illegitimate daughter who became connected with the aristocracy. Henry understood politics extremely well. His illegitimate children were useful diplomatic tools. He married daughters into powerful, noble families. His sons received castles, land, titles, offices, military commands. Therefore, his illegitimate children became part of the English and Norman aristocracy. His legitimate son, William Adelin, was supposed to inherit England and Normandy, but everything changed in 1120. Henry and his court were returning from Normandy. A ship called the White Ship carried many members of the royal family. On the night of 25 November 1120, the ship sank in the English Channel. William Adelin died. Almost all aboard were killed. The death of William Adelin devastated Henry. It also created a succession crisis. Henry had no legitimate son. Henry married Adeliza of Louvain, partly in the hope of producing another male heir, but no legitimate son was born. The succession problem remained. 1125 Emperor Henry V died. Empress Matilda returned to Normandy. 1127 Henry gathered his leading nobles. He required them to swear that they would recognize Empress Matilda as his successor. This was unprecedented and controversial. England had never before been ruled by a woman in her own right. Henry hoped the nobles would honor their oath. 1128 Empress Matilda married Geoffrey Plantagenet, Count of Anjou. This marriage was politically important but personally difficult. Henry and Geoffrey did not always have good relations. Nevertheless, the marriage eventually produced sons. March 5, 1133 Matilda and Geoffrey had a son Henry. He would later become Henry II of England. This child would eventually establish the Plantagenet dynasty. Henry I therefore became grandfather of one of England's most famous kings. 1130 for Henry's imprisoned older brother, Robert Curthos died in captivity. Henry no longer had to fear Robert personally. By the 1130s, Henry was an aging ruler. He was still politically powerful. He continued governing both England and Normandy. But the succession was becoming increasingly uncertain. His nobles had sworn to Matilda, but many disliked the idea of a woman ruling. November 1135 Henry was in Normandy. He became seriously ill after eating a large meal. He then became sick. December 1, 1135 Henry I died at Lyons La Ferté, Normandy. He was approximately 66 to 67 years old. He had ruled England for 35 years. Henry was buried at Reading Abbey in England. Unfortunately, Reading Abbey was later destroyed during the English Reformation. Henry's tomb therefore did not survive intact.